So guys, we are back with more First Descendant. We decided to dive deeper with this new character, with Nell. We wanted to understand her skills, how they work together, how they work against the enemies, and overall her full loadout, what she's using right now, the weapons she's using, her arcade tuning a tiny bit. But mostly, let's focus first on her skills. Now, in the last video, we realized that she is a non-attribute and she has tech and fusion, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Number 1 skill, breach projection. This one is pretty straightforward. It looks like you just throw these breach shards, they call it. But it seems like if you use the sieve scan first and the enemies are inflicted with the sieve scan, you can do additional, I don't know if it's damage, it says trigger, additional effects.
Yeah, it's additional damage. You get other buffs too, but you would have to hit them with the sieve and then do the skill 1.
Okay, so that is a really straightforward skill. I feel like you have 2 stacks, they come back pretty fast, so it feels like it's one of those that the one you kind of to spam it.
It is a little weird though, because she's the only one that I can think of that's like that with the sieve scan. That's kind of her passive. You're not there yet, but that's kind of her 5th skill, I guess.
Yeah, everybody else with the sieve scan is basically just to look for the weak points for the Colossus, or if you're trying to find like the vaults.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different.
Now, moving to skill number 2, it's called Breach Link. And this one, it looks like it puts something on the ground that does...
It creates an arcade breach.
An arcade breach. That's this black thing on the ground, and it debuffs enemies in it, right?
It debuffs them, yes. When it's on the ground, it has 15 seconds. So you put it down, you have 15 seconds to do multiple different things, because this skill goes hand in hand with itself and with your 3rd skill.
Okay, so one of the things you can do, you can put it down, let the enemies bathe in it, debuff them. Or you can press C again, that's for us, it's the C, it's the 2nd skill, and you can explode it, I think.
So basically, it's the anti-gravity field when you retrieve it. So if you hit your 2nd skill again, you hit it once, put it down, hit it again. To recall it, that's when you get the explosive damage. So it's the anti-gravity field when it's called back, but it's the 3rd skill explanation. Yeah, it's the arcade breach retrieval. That's what it's I think that's what it's talking about. Yeah, explosion damage range. 6 meters base, and the way they have us built, because we haven't messed with it, the radius is 18 meters. It says, because the anti-gravity field says continuous damage. I think it's doing damage to them anyway.
So it's not just a debuff, it's actually doing damage to the enemy, seems like.
I don't really know. Yeah.
Yeah, because it says continuous damage skill powers. We will test this in the field so it's more clear, but what it says here seems like it's not just a debuff, it's doing damage to the enemies that are on that anti-gravity field, for what I understand. And then probably the recalling does more damage too, like when you explode
it.
The
2nd skill creates the arcade breach, and then it says enemies near the created arcade breach and spawns an anti-gravity field on the ground. So you create the arcade breach, but it actually is creating the anti-gravity field. So those are 2 separate things in the where you can look at what the skill is exactly doing. But then the 3rd thing would be the retrieval, where it explodes.
Yeah. And this skill seems to be connected to the 3rd skill, the gravity reversal. I don't even think you can activate this skill unless you have the anti-gravity field.
No, I think this one goes hand in hand with the 2nd one.
And this one, I was trying to say in the other video that it reminds me a lot to Lepic when he put those explosions on the ground and kind of suck the enemy in. It feels like it does something like that, but with...
It's very similar to this, if you were to hit her 2nd skill twice. Like it kind of does the same thing because it explodes. But you have to have an anti-gravity field down to use the 3rd skill. Otherwise,
look at the skill power though. Multiplier by 2,135%. That seems a lot.
Yeah, like I said, this is just how they have it built. There are different module cards here, but that's for like if you were going to use Bunny or Freyna, because I think those are the other 2 characters you can use.
And now finally moving to the last skill, the Case of the Abyss. We didn't know what this was doing when we were testing her for the first time. It seems like when you have this activated, you're like, I thought they were like constantly hitting the weak spot, like almost like an aimbot.
It's basically an aimbot, it seems like, as long as you're shooting in the general direction. It says it targets, like it doesn't say automatically, but basically it says all firearm attacks from Nell target weak points.
Yeah, when we tested the demo in the last video, I activated it and then I shot the rocket launcher into the enemies. Everything was a yellow number. Like weak point, weak point, weak point.
I think it says it also increases the weak point damage of you and any people on your team that are close by, like in
Oh, nice. So
like in Dark Tide.
that would be cool to use against Colossus fights, since you basically have to hit them in the weak point.
But this one also is affected by the Deceive scan.
Oh yeah, so you need to keep scanning with
But
this
you
character.
have to have that active, yeah. So if you have your 4th skill active, hitting a target inflicted with Deceive scan with a breach shard increases the duration of your 4th skill.
Ooh.
So you'd have to have your 4th skill activated, hit your 1 skill, or hit him with the Deceive scan, and then hit him with your 1 skill to increase the duration.
Oh my
There's
God.
actually a lot of parts involved in that.
Yeah, I feel like there is not just, you're not going to just be hitting random numbers here. You're going to actually have to some kind of like, okay, I'm going to hit this first, and when they are debuffed with this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. So it's not just clicking. There's a tactic to it. So I like that. And speaking of the Deceive scan, her passive revolves around that specific technique as well. Like you have to keep using it. It looks like enemies are inflicted with the Deceive scan, you will be doing additional damage, and that's her passive. Now guys, I'm going to first do a test of these skills here in the open world, and then we're going to test in real enemies. Technically we should be using the Deceive scan, but...
So you hit your Deceive scan, and then hit your Q, your 1.
And then I hit my Q. Okay.
And then you would hit that, yeah. That's kind of a spammy skill, but...
Yeah, it comes back really fast, at least right now with the build we have.
Then your 2nd skill, that's the one you have to do twice.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the ground.
Yeah, 15 seconds.
Okay. And now, I can't do anything, but if I want to do more damage, I think I have to explode it, right?
Yes, hit it
Seems
again.
like it.
And then you basically get it back right away. Like, as long as... I think... I don't know. I think if the time runs out, maybe it has a cooldown then, but as long as you do it within the 15 seconds, it seems like you can kind of keep putting it down.
Yeah. And now, you see the V for us, there's the 3rd skill is gray out. But if we put the C down, now we have a available.
Now you hit the V.
But see, it feels like it's sucking them into the middle.
Yeah,
so it's an explosion, but it's a bit different. So, whoa, like, it creates that around us, and now we're like buffed. And technically now everything should be hitting the weak spot in the area.
Now remember, you need to be using the Deceive if you're using the 4th skill as well, too.
Oh yeah, it was to release a cooldown? No, it was for the duration, maybe.
I think it was additional damage, or no, that was her passive. It was for, wasn't it for weak points? Let me check.
I don't remember, but they want you to use the Deceive scan non-stop with her.
No. If you're in her 4th skill, you need to use the Deceive, and then use the 1 to increase the duration of your 4th skill.
Oh, so I had to use my shark from the Q. Okay, let me try that.
Yeah, that's the one that was a little bit more complicated.
Then I use my Deceive, and then I use Q. Supposedly increase the duration of my Z.
I don't know if it will work if you're not hitting an enemy with it, but that's how it would work.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to find some enemies and we test this for real.
Yeah.
Now we scan them. Oh yeah, I see this. There's a different icon when you scan them. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's totally different.
Ah. So maybe you want, how you have some component sets, not component set, components that you have more receive duration or farther reach?
The thing is, I think you would want to keep them because it doesn't seem to do an insane amount of damage. I think you want them to be in that as long as possible.
Now let me use my scan, use this. Now I'm sure. Yeah, everything's a yellow number with a Z. Everything's a weak point damage.
I mean, it's just so easy. You just use your V, pull them all to the middle, and then use your C 1 time, and then shoot them with the rocket. And everything's done.
Yeah, knowing how the skills work now is not as bad. Like, I feel like I can
get them all together.
Oh, the boss is here. Shoot.
Use your C, pull them into the middle with the gravitational pull thingy, and then shoot 1 rocket in there, and it just takes everything out. I know they're just ads, but still. And you kind of have to aim this thing down sight. If you don't aim this thing down sight, it doesn't work very good.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I killed the pincer special unit. He's like a mini boss. I always forget to scan, I never scan this much in the open world. I do it with the Colossus. He's dead! Now, checking her reactor, they gave her a full max out, non-attribute fusion reactor. And that will be the second and the third skill, if I'm not mistaken. The one that you put the anti-gravity field in the ground, and then you can pull the enemies in with the V, with the third skill.
Yeah, and it has cooldown and effect range, so you would have to assume this is just what they want you to have on it. It may not be for the best. I mean, I'm sure people will build her differently. We might build her differently, but this is what they thought you should be using in the beginning, at least.
I wonder if skill cooldown by default are so bad that you need to have this extra thing on the reactor.
I don't know. I mean, the one comes back fast. The 2 is always there unless you don't pull it back, call it back within the 15 seconds. The third skill only works with the second skill, so mainly it'd be for the fourth skill, I guess.
And maybe to expand it, and it'd be the Q-ish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In her modules, she's got shot focus,
HP collector.
Skill cooldown. She's also using MP conversion for skill cooldown, and then she gets a little bit from the non-attribute. Focus on non-attribute, focus on tech. She gets a little bit too.
I mean, this is a really common build for almost any Descendant, with the only two differences that I barely use. I used to use Spear and Shield more back in the day. I don't use it that much anymore.
I would say a lot of them. Well, she's also using HP collector, which I don't really.
I don't use HP collector. I do the stem, the increase HP, and the what was the other one?
Yeah, I'd say HP collector and Spear and Shield. Maybe I would change that out differently, but the shot focus probably, since her fourth skills all
about
around
shooting,
her hitting headshot or weak points. The range skills for sure. Nimble fingers, all the skill cooldown ones increase HP, and then the focus on non-attribute and focus on tech. But her reactor's fusion.
So they have both.
I don't know. We'll build her differently probably, but this is definitely okay. I don't see anything wrong with this.
Okay, here the graph, I can see it. Mostly it's HP, like you said.
Yeah, so she's HP character. Okay.
HP and a tiny bit MVP. Everything else is a bit low.
But her components here are this. This has got to be a new one. The ballistic trackers component set, because most of it they went for HP. I mean, some of it, like, I guess some of the perks on the bottom are like a sieve and MP, but all the cores they went for HP, and then the set itself is weak point. It's all weak point stuff, which is what she's good with her fourth skill when her fourth skill is active, so it makes sense. I don't know if this will be the best in the long run. Probably it's going to be really good, but it's a good way to try it now.
And now moving to the arcade tuning, this is what they did with her. They went to the left and the top left with her. They went to the multi-hit shots and to the non-attribute cohesion and the max spin round. So, this character reminds me a little bit of 50-50 between a character that is a bit of clay, but a little bit of skill heavy at the same time, It's more like more balanced, in my opinion.
A lot of firearm attack.
Yeah, here in the left side, you guys
can definitely want you to use guns. I'm telling you, I think because the second and third skill, at least for me when I was doing it, I put it down and then they were sitting in it. Yeah, it's debuffing them to some degree, but then whether you exploded it or not, it wasn't, at least for me, it wasn't really finishing them off. So what I was doing was just putting the 2 down, your skill 2, and then using skill 3 to suck them into a little ball, basically, and then just use the launcher, and it just takes them all out. It just took all of them out.
Yeah, I think they maybe want to get away a tiny bit from the all exclusive heavy skill characters only, or the super.
I mean, because you're using your skills a lot, but I was using the weapon to actually finish them.
Yeah, I feel like I was using more my weapon in this character than I use, for example, with an S or with Bunny. It felt closer to the playstyle I do with Clay, but with the skills at the same time.
I think she's fun. I think she's quite fun to use. I don't know. We just have to see when the season comes out.
So guys, that was everything for today's video. We are not expert on this character. We just try to understand better how she works, how she's supposed to be used, her skills versus her abilities with her guns. I don't know. Let us know down in the comments how you feel about her. If you're going to buy her, you're going to grind for her, if you're excited about Season 3 coming up soon.